all I want to do today is draw a skull from memory, and it will possibly be really bad, but I'm okay with that. I'm just trying to document progress, or hopefully progress, and see if I can improve at this thing that's been really difficult for a really long time. I'm hoping a different approach to this will help me out. So let me show you what I have done. So a couple weeks ago, I drew this guy. Like, this is the absolute best that I could do. And I mean, I tried my hardest, and that's the best I could do from memory. Can I define from memory? Imagination. Drawing from imagination. It wasn't based on something, but using no reference, I'm trying to come up with something and draw it. So anyway, this was a couple days later, and then over here, and then this guy, and then this a couple days ago, and then I drew this guy a few days ago. So I'm just going to try and draw the next one in line and see if I've improved at all or not. And we'll just see. And I'm going to try to get over my insecurities with drawing this stuff. So I'll do my best to answer any questions you have. And I'm not going to think too much about like the exact pose or anything. I'm just trying to draw a basic 3/4 pose. Oh, if you have a question for me, I think it'd be easiest if, you did the whole, like, all caps question before you make the question. That way I can see it a little better. Oh, Rob. So the other thing I'm going to be struggling with is simply just drawing in front of people or trying to overcome the nerves in order to draw, which is also something I've always had a lot of trouble with. So this is not like a how to draw skulls from memory. It may be an example of how not to draw skulls from memory, but hopefully I'll learn something from it. Question, is your plan to draw a skull then compare it to an actual one for accuracy? Yeah, pretty much. At the end of this, I'll take the picture, and I don't know if I can show this, but I'll put it on my bulletin board that's sort of surrounded by anatomical drawings and everything. The problem I'm having is that I have two model skulls, and they're really bad. One was like $20, and the other was like $12. So I think I'm going to buy a new one because the more I'm learning, the more I'm realizing that they're just really inaccurate. Or not inaccurate, but, well, okay, inaccurate and wrong. Not that I know that much more, but I need to get a good model. Thank you, Ashley. Do you preconceive of a proportion of the head shapes in your head to sketch those guidelines? I mean, I'm trying to. Yeah. Like, I know that, it's separated into thirds like this. So I try to keep that in mind. But I think the goal is to have as much of the finished product in your mind as you can. But I definitely cycle through a lot of rules when I draw. And I think a lot of other really good artists can just kind of see it. And I think one of my weak points is that I just sort of go through all of these rules in my head. And it's not always the way to do it. Ashley says just kill someone and take their skull. I have no reply to that. Da Vinci used to dig up bodies and study from those. I guess if I wanted to be like Da Vinci, I could. Oh, hello, Stacy. How are you? I haven't seen you in a while. All right. See, I know there's the auditory canal, I think is what it's called, right here. And the zygomatic arch sort of goes over it like that. If there's anyone who knows anatomy really well, feel free to yell at me when I get things wrong. All right, I'm going to flip it because that just sort of helps you get a fresh eye on it. Oops. See, Rob, what I'm doing right now is I'm remembering this thing that I read in a Russian drawing book about how to kind of divvy up the forehead. At least I'm trying to remember it. The back of the cranium I'm not totally sure about, but I know it does something like that. I don't know about that nose. All right. I feel like I can't draw because I can't see the 3D world flattened into a planar surface. That's a very good thought. Yeah, that's one of the hard parts of drawing, is that you have to consciously freeze that 3D model in your mind, although it's not easy to do, and only put it in one place. Like, you have to keep pinning down points of that model. Even though you know the thing as a 3D object, you can't draw it as a 3D object. You have to draw it on a 2D surface. See, that little part, I remembered looking at my skull that the nasal bone actually covers that part of the brow ridge. I don't know if it comes across very clear here, but it overlaps, I guess. And I know it goes down here a little bit and back up. I know that this part comes out a bit. Also, that mouth, the teeth line is too low, I think. Because Rob, again, with the proportions, it should be right in the middle and then forward a little bit. And then that front part is very straight and then it curves around the back. Something like that. Might be too small. And then it goes back in. Overlaps with the chin. All right, chat. Make sure you kill an attractive person so you have a good skull to compare to. Yeah, I'm not going to respond to those. Because what I would say would probably be too funny. You're right. If it's good enough for Da Vinci, it should be good enough for me. See, I really like that sleepy Mylo take. Is it like you want a complete mastery of a generic perfect skull as a baseline, and once you mastered that, you can contort as you please? I don't know if that's a question, but yes, that's exactly what I'm trying to do, is come up with some sort of model skull in my head and then be able to recreate that. And then say if I was doing a portrait, I would be able to spot the things that are unique to that person. And that would sort of be the goal. I don't know how I feel about this mouth, guys. But this is a goofy looking guy. He's kind of like smirking. And his jaw is huge. Let's cut that down. I think it's... Maybe I made all of this too big. Yes, I agree, Rob. And right now, it's a very generic skull. All this, well, I don't know what this would be exactly, but I started looking at all the different types of skulls, and they vary so much from each other that they're just completely different. So there is no perfect, like, ideal skull that you can just learn. Like, they're so different. So I need to start learning all the different types. I completely agree. Like the difference between male and female, and African and European and Asian and everything. So that is certainly on my list of things to do. All right, I'm flipping again. Doing the D-new flip or whatever you call it. I completely agree about the different types of skulls. And I'll also get into different angles at some point. Sometimes I catch myself just redrawing areas, like, for no reason. And I wonder what that's about. I think it's that I just don't have a clear picture of what it should be. And so I just kind of keep guessing, hoping that the answer will come, but never does. But I could probably start cleaning this guy up soon. Make him just a little... I don't know what's going on over there. Are you scared of the flip? Did I flip it? Did I even flip it? I'm going to flip it again. If I didn't flip it. There we go. I think I just flipped it back, but whatever. All right. At this point, I don't think it's too bad. Well, that center line was way off. Stacy, don't be afraid of the flip. Sometimes it can, Like, you think your drawing is amazing, and then you flip it, and then you realize you had no idea what you were doing at all. That's usually the case. So I think if you flip it early, like the earlier you can flip it, the better. If you wait till the end and then flip it, you'll realize that the whole thing was awful the whole time. But don't be afraid of the flip. Just do the flip more often. I think at this point I'm dilly-dallying. I don't know what I'm doing. Hello, Jane. Welcome to the live stream. Meet all my other friends. Okay. I'm going to say the lighting is coming from over here, which means that everything facing the light is going to be the brightest area, of course. I'm just getting some of the smaller details in. Are we happy with this guy? Is his perspective good? It's okay, I think. I don't know about this part. Oh my God, we're lighting it. Yeah. I'm going to try to light it. Did everyone here learn their craft from Russian books? Okay. Joe, are you kidding about the Russian CAD book? Because I think that's interesting. The things I've learned from the Russians, that they construct things so well. Like they build it all out in perspective, and they construct it like they're building something, and it's amazing. And that's like what I'm just barely trying to do right here. But people who are actually good at that Russian Academy method stuff, it is incredible to see. See, that doesn't make sense. So like I'm trying to plot points. Like this point, if you move it over in perspective, and that's the center point, then it should be about right there, I think. Oh yeah, let's put. All right, I think the height or the size of the teeth, like both teeth together, this height should be about 1/3 of the eye socket. So it should be about this big. So it's a lot smaller than I was previously drawing it. So we'll see if that works a little better. Also think it curves up a bit. Daniel should have a skull emote that slowly looks better over time. Agreed. I have never made my own emote. What is an emote? Can someone explain that to me? Is that like an emoji? But different? Okay, I think we need to start lighting them at some point. Show us the chompers. Let's see some teeth. All right, good idea. All right, so if this is my center line, which is off, if that's the center, we have, and I need to go learn some teeth shapes, but here we have the front two incisors. So first incisor, second incisor. It's very blurry this close. Second incisor, then the canine, then the first premolar, second premolar, first real molar, second real molar, and then third. And then it just repeats on the bottom. I know it's very blurry. Sorry. All right. Bye, Jane. Thanks for coming. Let me know how many molars you have, Ren. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay, at this point, I don't know what makes something a molar and what makes something a normal tooth. If someone knows, is anyone a dentist in here? Yes, the first two should, actually they're way too small. It should be flat, pretty much. And then they get a little more rounded. You can't even see them. I'll fix those when I clean it up a bit, I think. And then I know it comes out a bit. It has that plane on the bottom. Alright. Still think his cranium looks weird. But maybe that's a little better. Alright. Maybe we start. Oh, his nose is too low. You guys should have told me. I think I'm probably stalling at this point. I need to start lighting him. But maybe need to angle his cheek a little more. Molars do most of the chewing. They're in the back. They're wider. If you lose your molars, you're going to have a bad time. Thank you, Ashley. You worked at a dental office. That's cool. Too large on the parietal. You think the parietal's too large? Let's get these bones in place. So this is the frontal bone. That goes down all the way over here to the sphenoid. Something. And then, I don't remember. I remember this. The temporal, which I think does something like that. Cyborg teeth. All right. I think that fixed what was bothering me. All right, I'm flipping again. All right. Do we clean him up real fast? All right, so I was using this color. Now I'm going to use this one to try to clean it up. Hopefully pick up some fixes on the way if I see any. Well, I see mistakes, but that doesn't mean I know how to fix them. This doesn't look right to me, but question on a different layer. Wait, what was the question, Joe? Where do you take your kill shot? Is that it? Oh, would I rather live without my molars or my front teeth? I would rather live without my molars. I'll just drink smoothies forever. All right, I think his entire head is too fat. And also He's leaning too far forward. But he's just going to be a goofy looking guy. See, we haven't gotten to my favorite part yet, which is the lighting part. Yeah, I would just drink smoothies if I lost my molars. We got any more questions? I like questions. Give me questions. Smoothies do not have to have too much sugar. You can make them yourself and not put so much sugar in them. Dan, what's your Sagen? You're going to have to define what Sagen is first. I'm having a lot of trouble with this whole area. Why? All right, let me catch up on this. Question, how long has this journey for the perfect skull been? Are you pretty early into this or has it been a while? It's been like a couple weeks, so like 3 weeks. And there's not like a perfect skull. I just need to learn more. What is it like to be slow and incapable of drawing? It hurts, Rob. It really hurts. The teeth look a little short for the head size. Yeah, you could be right about that. I also may have drawn them too low, even though I did the fancy little check thing. But see, it's like problems like this, if you don't catch them early, they're very hard to fix because then you're dealing with multiple layers. Alright, I gotta start wrapping him up. Even though he did not look totally right. So, I guess it's okay that this one doesn't turn out as well. Because I'm going for progress, right? Oh, God. I'm redrawing. That might look a little better. All right, obviously teeth are something I need to go work on this week. What's your go-to music when you draw? I have a, one of those cliche lo-fi playlists. Thank you, Ashley. Yeah, as you focus on parts of the skull, you will master the anatomical connection. Yes, and this has just been what's happening with me, is you just get these blind spots that you, no matter how hard you think, you cannot see them. Even though I've looked at a skull a million times, not a real skull, because I don't have one, but I've looked at drawings and models, and I've studied them. I still can't remember them, which is very strange. But, alright, I apologize for having to draw these teeth so many times. But I'll just kind of hint at them. All right, light coming from over here. Let's do this. So the darkest areas would be right in here, stylistic purposes. Right here. Accent there. the chin thickness. You're right. I'm assuming that's what you're talking about. That did look pretty big. Shouldn't more of the teeth show? You know what? I think you're right, Ashley. Take a break from the teeth and do some fun stuff. I agree with you. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to work on it. But, you know, something like that. Okay. So front. So not only do I need to work on the skull or learning about it, I also need to work on some technical things that keep showing up whenever I draw them. So need to work on that too. Question: what is your favorite medium? Probably oil paint. I mean, it's frustrating, but that's probably my favorite. If I could be anything, it would be an oil painter all day long. I know that this... What kind of computer do you have? Joe, maybe you can take this since you built my computer. Question, what part of the art making process is your favorite? That's a good question. I think I like the painting portion of it. I like putting in all the lighting and getting the whole, when you get a feel for the whole scene, I think that's really exciting. Sometimes I get frustrated with the drawing portion like this. And a lot of times it's just technical things. Like I probably just need to practice more technical stuff. Let's see. Nope. Question, what technical things? Talk us through them. How to render things. Like, it just seems like other artists have this ability to, I don't know, have a very cohesive look to what they do. And I wonder if it's because I got started so late with art that my idea of how things should look is just kind of all over the place. So I'm like, oh, I want to be like this artist. I want to be like this artist. And I keep chasing every new shiny thing that I see. Whereas a lot of artists develop this style or way of thinking when they're younger. So it feeds into their technical way of doing things. I don't even know if I'm making sense, but hope that helps. Oil painting sounds easy. Yeah, it's super easy. So I guess, Rob, I flip back and forth a lot. Like even during a drawing, I'll think it needs to be done in this style or this way. And then halfway through, I'll switch and think, no, actually it should have been done like this. And it just leads to a very incohesive, is that a word? Incohesive drawing, I think. As if a crazy person did it. Still don't like this. I think it might be time for another flip. You're right, Stacy. The flips can hurt sometimes. I agree. Chasing artist envy seems like a forever thing. It probably is. Ashley says back of the mandible jaw is too short and that you are getting ahead on the polishing details before finishing the structure. I couldn't agree more with the polishing thing. Okay, wait. I'm going to read that again. The back of the mandible is too short? Then it should come down further? I may have made it too wide or something. Thank you, Rob. He says, I think the top of the frontal lobe looks like a bit of an impact accident in early childhood, and the parietal and occipital are still too expanded. Can you do a draw over, please? All right, see, this is how I know, or I should know. Performing some major surgery. Hopes that it will make it better, but there's something weird that happens in your brain when you stared at a drawing for a long time. It's like you can't even see it anymore. I hope that helped, Rob. But Yes, it's just like semantic satiation. I feel like if I said that a few times. But yeah, it's just like that. You look at something for too long and then you can't even see it anymore. And I agree with Ashley that I'm getting too far ahead. And I should get the structural stuff first. But a lot of times I don't know what's wrong or right on the structural stuff. So it's like, I don't know. And also I was trying to wrap this up by 10, but that's not happening, I guess. All right, more separation in the teeth. I totally agree. But it's like, how though? Those look a little more like teeth, right? Maybe. Oh, thank you. So, what do you guys find interesting and what do you not find interesting? Or is that too ridiculous of a question? Like, what do you wish I did more of and what do you wish I did less of? The teeth look very teethy, thank you. Vote for fangs. I'm going to leave it. I'll make him a little more fangy. There, so he's got a bigger canine. It's not full vampire, but now the lighting is definitely a mess, but oh well. My order of operations needs some serious work. Like I should not be moving on to the next stage before I finish one. It was interesting to see me undo my work. Oh, so the square thing I did for perspective, and I just learned this like yesterday, but if you draw a and this is hard for me, but Well, you get the idea, even though it sucks. But if you can think of this in perspective, and this back one's a bit too long. That's what I was trying to do, is imagine that in a line with him and get these points lined up right there. So the top of his cranium and then the back portion right there, except it would be like right there. That's what I was trying to do. And then think of that. And then I also did a front view. That's what I was attempting to do. So I may have beat this guy to death. Get it? Dan, I'm too quiet. All right, I'll try to keep chatting. All right, more of my thought process. Oh man, I should just choose one comment at a time, right? Who needs lighting when we have those lovely lines denoting the form, right? I think he has a little too much of an overbite. His chin should be brought forward a little bit. Very good. I agree with that. Thoughts on something's going on. Uh-oh, I'm screwing up the teeth again, guys. I swear, next time the teeth are gonna be amazing. There's some kind of braces joke in there, but I don't know. Nope, I just made everything worse. All right, I want to catch up on some of the comments and just try to not look at it for a second. If I can. In a second. All right, you're right. I am too quiet. It's hard to talk and... Okay. Too much overbite. I agree, but I screwed it up. Don't be afraid to go way bigger with your memory assumption on the eye sockets. I don't know what you mean by that. Don't be afraid to go way bigger with your memories. They probably are too small. I agree with Mike. Right? Have you found you've improved most? I've improved... I don't know. I think I've improved overall. And... definitely the beginning phases. Like this... was a huge thing for me to learn because I would go to draw a skull and it would look like this. Which is actually turning out to be much more fun than my other one. But I would end up with a cranium that was huge because I just couldn't keep those main proportions in mind. See, this one is more fun and better than this guy. But so learning things like this, I think, helped because I would draw a lot of stuff that just looked like that with like ridiculous cranium sizes. But I think what I have a lot of trouble with is zooming in on tiny little areas and forgetting like the main form of things. Actually, that's a huge problem I have. See, like I should remember that this is shaped like that. And if I could keep the basic shapes in mind, I think it'd be a lot easier. Like this is a whole shape that if I could remember or keep that big shape in mind, I think things would look a lot better. And this is just, you know, shaped like a football. Like that cranium is shaped. Like a football. And if I could just remember that, it would look less awkward, I think. All right. Let's see. What's my favorite dessert? I like key lime pie, I think. Mandible divots. Are you talking about the mental foramen? I think is the name of it. Is that what you meant? There's also right there and then right there. I think they're nerve things. I don't know. Yeah, I need to practice. So I'll just keep messing with them a bit, but hopefully my next one goes by faster and maybe a little better. Maybe the lighting will make more sense next time. Maybe I'll give him braces next time. Jimmy Neutron vibes. Can you say why? It's an alien and it's fun and I like it. Oh, that guy. Oh, Jimmy Neutron, yeah. Brain blast. You're right. Looks like. All right. Delos made, yeah. Missing the forest for the trees. That's exactly what I do, yeah. Yeah, I agree. The orbits are the... Yep, I think you're right, Rob. Why didn't you say that earlier? I blame Rob for this one. Would have saved me a lot of trouble. I love when you draw these geometric shapes over your drawings. I should think more in geometric shapes. I don't know why I don't. Next step is to look at an actual skull and see what you got wrong and draw it again. I completely agree, Rin. Next time do a pirate skull, an anime skull. I'll do all the skulls for everything. Yeah, I would love to start. See, I think at the beginning I'll be drawing like one skull. Well, I don't know. Maybe I'll change it up. Maybe it would be more fun to do like 10 of them that are a bit simpler or something. That might be more fun. told myself I wasn't going to do this little tonal thing, but I think it's too fun not to, so. Jimmy Neutron Ghost Rider crossover tattoo. Yeah. Make a donation goal for buying a human skull. I've been looking at them and they're not that expensive. They're like $2,000 or $3,000, which for a human head, you know, I think you get what you pay for. Looking like a mystery pulp fiction novel cover. I like that. Yeah, see, this makes me think, because it sort of comes together when I do this, it makes me think that I'm expressing tonal shifts with my line work that are not good. They do not help the expression of form. So my line work is saying something that it shouldn't. And I don't like that. I do not know what this guy is, but I like him. How much would you sell your skull for, Michael? What price is a good price for your skull? I agree, Rob. Try next time pure line work first without any preemptive shading. I agree. I should do that. Because I was kind of like half shading, half not shading. It didn't make sense. Because I kept going back and forth between tonal line work and structural line work, just like Ashley said. I should have listened better. All right, I'm going to throw in some edge lighting, because edge lighting is just great. Everybody loves edge lighting. I don't know if that really works, but I'm surprised I haven't had any computer glitches. Well, except for the beginning of this whole stream. Yes, Sleepy Mylo Tick, you can buy Dead Person's Real Skull. It's actually pretty easy to do. All right. I think I'm going to give him just a slight background and then we can call it done. Just so it looks like that. Edge lighting is coming from somewhere. All right, there we go. I think we can call it done pretty much. Let's clean this up. Anybody have any more questions or anything? Or any thoughts on future streams? Yes, the 10 minutes of the sound. Yeah, that was bad. What's the next one? The next one will be, I'll probably do it next week. I'm going to try to do these every week. And I'll try to keep them to an hour. And I will also try to not have sound glitches at the beginning. But I think that will be the plan. You want the NFT? NFTs. Is there a schedule? I'm working on a schedule. I think it will be Wednesdays. I still don't know what an emote is, but maybe next week. But you have to tell me what an emote is. But all right. Oh, we have to add him to the other ones. So we will. Oh well, it'll be a little weird because I got this guy, but don't worry, I'm not erasing him. He's just going on a different layer. And then I'm going to add him to the other skulls, and then we can call it done. Oh, I drew him a bit smaller than the other ones. Wonder if that's why it was so blurry. All right. Your suggestion is a dog cam. Yeah, the dogs should make an appearance sometime soon. Yes, I'll bring the dogs in sometime. All right, today's date is Four, 3/21. Thank you, everyone. This was fun. It was very difficult. It kind of messes with my head, but it was a lot of fun. Thank you for watching, and let me know if you have any suggestions or what you thought about this. But hopefully I will do this again on Wednesday of next week. But I'll post about it. All right. Thank you, everyone. Talk to you next time.